That's amazing. So you do get around Manchester. You've got your cousin with you. Tremendous. Well, you've been to many Comic Cons before, and obviously this is a great crowd. The UK always has a great crowd. But what do you love most about doing these autograph signings?
Well, I mean, it's you guys. You guys are everything to us. Imagine if no one came out to watch us, kind of like when COVID was around and it was an empty arena. It's just awesome when you guys say that you, sorry, I'm going to talk to you too. It's awesome when you guys say that, like, you love what we do and, you know, you have a personal memory of a special occasion that you were at a live event or whatever. I mean, it just means the world to me. I can only speak for me, but I know my brethren and we're all brethren.
We are. We're brothers.
Even though we don't have testicles, we're all brethren.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, I mean, we just appreciate it, you know, just eyeball to eyeball. It's great.
That's right. Well, you've had such an amazing career, and as I warned everybody, I'm going to fangirl because, you know, with all due respect to very serious women's wrestlers, I know that you know this. I loved the Diva era. I loved the sexy gals. I loved managers. I always loved that. And for me, one thing that I would love to give you a chance to shed some light on is your time with the Radicals. So that, for me, was a lot of fun to watch. What was it like to work with the Radicals?
Well, okay, so my people ask the question all the time, like, who was your favorite person to manage, whatever. It first was the father of my child. I had so much fun doing the Marlena gimmick with Dust. But second to that, Perry was so awesome because he would always ask me, like, how much I wanted to be a part of the match. And nobody else had ever asked me, like, what do you want to do? So it was, I mean, he was very good at, you know, lifting me and lauding me. And, you know, they were all such amazing wrestlers, all. I know that, you know, Chris Benoit, it's that god-awful story, but, you know, he has a son that in a moment's flash, he lost everything. And that poor kid, you know, idolized his father. So, I mean, to be a part of that with all four of those, I mean, there's just a lot of history and a lot of great times. I do have to say one thing about how long do we have? Because I can talk on and on.
As long as you want, gorgeous.
All right, any hoodle doodles. So if you guys don't know, what happens when we get to the arena, we check in, we're like, made my flight, okay, I'm here. And then we either go to the gym or go to catering. And then most of us find a place up in the arena away from everyone and we call home. And we have conversations with our loved ones, you know, that we don't want everyone to hear, right? So Perry called me up into the stands and we're sitting away from everyone and he goes, you know, Terri, I really like you. And I want to date you.
Ooh.
And I said, oh, Pear, I love you with all my heart, but as my brother, not my lover. So he did not speak to me for 2 solid weeks. He did not speak to me.
Even when you're working together, he didn't speak to you?
Didn't say
my God.
frickin' word to me. But the lovely way that this ended up is, he years later he said, Tara, I never believed that I could ever be friends with a female. I just figured, you know, if I like them, I want to do them. We're all the small children. Sorry. But he said, you were the first person that taught me that I could actually be a friend. Yeah, so I love Perry for that. I love him, and yeah.
I love that. Tara and Pear.
Agua.
Adorable. Well, obviously, there were so many great moments with the Radicals, so much talent in that stable. But then you had so much fun with Perry doing things with Moppy, and those sort of segments are that's kind of the thing I miss, a lot of the camaraderie and the silliness of it all. Do you think that wrestling nowadays sometimes takes itself a little too seriously?
Yeah, and I like diversity, and I sometimes I feel like you can acknowledge what I'm saying. We have such amazing seamstresses that make such amazing costumes and, you know, ring wear. But at a certain point, it's almost like everyone looks amazing because of their in-ring, I shouldn't say costume. Help me, what's the word? Gear, thank you. And so sometimes I feel like, like Mick Foley, that man spent the least amount of money on in-ring wear of any human being I know. Yep. Flannel shirt, some baggy ass black stretch pants, what were they called?
Yeah. Zubaz.
Yes,
yep.
And then after that, anyway, yeah, it was just, so.
He was doing it right. He was saving his money.
Dude, he would stay with anybody. Somebody comes to the show and says, hey, Mick, I'll put you up for the night. He's like, all right, I'll follow you home.
He loves a red roof.
Oh, he loves a free roof.
Who doesn't love a red roof or a free roof? Well said. Well, one more question for me, then we're going to get to Chris Brooker's got the microphone. So if you have a question, just hold your hand up. Please don't be shy, guys. Usually in the first panel of the day, they're a little shy. But we've got a gentleman in the front row that has a question. But one more fangirl question for me. Again, back to the Divas era. What I loved, yes, I loved the wrestling and the matches and the athleticism of it all, but I loved the photo shoots. Postcard from the Caribbean, Divas do New York, that desert heat. What were the photo shoots like for you? Because I feel like we don't get asked this a lot from the ladies. It's more about matches, in-ring work, and I would like to know about the photo shoots and the glam.
I always challenge people to ask me a question that's never been asked. That has never been asked.
Yay!
And before I finish, I want to give her props. She is one of the most amazing talents behind the mic, and I love her, and she's just so awesome to be with. I had the very first on-location photo shoot.
Oh, wow.
I called the company and I went to Santa Fe, New Mexico every year in December. Yeah. And I said, I'm going on holiday. Do you guys want to come and do a photo shoot? Did they pay for my holiday? No. But they did come along, and that was the desert. What was the Dusty Roads? ROADS. Yes. So they came along for my holiday, and that started the on-location photo shoots. So they're a blast. No matter how amazing we look, like I remember being in the beach and sand on my knees, and like it was like sandpaper just all day long. Yeah. I looked like I was having the time of my life.
Relaxing, yeah.
There's a photo from the Santa Fe, New Mexico shoot where, and it's used a lot. I'm sorry, it's used a lot. I have like on a little white thing, there's wood underneath me. It was 32 degrees, and that would be Fahrenheit, people. Yeah. And I look like it's like I'm balmy, Santa Monica. Yeah, so they're fun, but you're up at 5 a.m., makeup, you have to be there for sunrise and sunset, and it ain't pretty. It's
not. It looks pretty as the finished product, but
that's all that matters.
Some of the photos that you guys, it's like a murky lake, and it looks like you're in the Caribbean.
Yes.
It's an acting challenge, and you did very well.
Yes.
I totally know what photo you're talking about, by the way. I probably have it in a magazine, like under my bed at my mom's house, because I'm a wrestling nerd. And proud of it, might I say.
You live here full time now, right?
I do. I'm in beautiful, exotic Milton Keynes. Give it up for Milton Keynes, everybody. Whoop, whoop. No? Okay. I told someone I lived there, and someone said, my condolences. I was like, wow. We have a Harrods. Anyway, yes, I do love the UK, and there's a lot to see. There's a lot of architecture, beautiful history, and of course, the people are incredible. Speaking of the people, Chris Brooker has the microphone, and I believe we have a question right here in the front row.
Seamless continuity there.
Yes.
Thank you, Val. I'll be back to you in a moment.
Segue.
The first question for the love of wrestling. This is your moment. Make it count. What's your name, my friend?
KD.
And what's your question for Ms. Runnels, please?
I had two short ones, if you'll allow me. Is that all right? Right. The first question, absolute pleasure to meet you, by the way, Terry. My favourite pose as well.
Thank you.
That pose on the Royal Rumble, where you were on the cover of the Royal Rumble, but Mae Young won the competition. My first one, was there a little bit of annoyance that Mae Young's won this and look how boss we are, or were you just all made up for it? Because obviously you were the one who should have won it.
Baby boy, it's called a work. And if you can't figure out it's a work from Mae Young winning that, contest, I don't know what other way you could learn that this business is a work. But I loved Mae Young, and I'm pissed off because that suit that I had made by Julie Youngberg was stolen at Madison Square Garden. If you ever see it for sale somewhere, anyone, tell me. I'm gonna come and beat the person's hoo-ha. Okay, next question.
I hope you've had closure, sir.
Yeah, was that good?
Yeah, that's grand.
Wait, he has two questions.
We're just going to share the love around, that was all. Go ahead.
Here's the second short one. On the Plane Ride from Hell DVD that you did, right, sorry, no, you don't have to, right. You talk about Dustin singing a song to you, and I said, don't sell it. Now, whoever did that sort of said, don't sell it. And I thought you were throwing a bit of shade at you, because I think you'd said, don't sell it twice. Did you ever think about that, how you were portrayed in that video?
No, it's just part of protecting our compadres. And I just love our business, and I just don't betray it in that way, I guess. So I'm cool. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Good questions. Here's a question. We're talking about camaraderie. And then if you guys have another question, just raise your hand. Chris Brooker will come over to you with the microphone. We've got a couple over here on the right. Oh, we've got one over there on the left as well. Just one quick second. So we talk about camaraderie. On the road, did you tend to get along more with the females in the locker room or more so with the boys, or a mixture of both?
Well, because when I got there, there was only, it was Sonny and myself. And that's kind of how I came up with the Marlena gimmick, was what is WWF missing right now. And Sherry had been there, and, her character was, off the wall. And then Sonny had her little cheerleading kind of like, woo, woo.
Nice move.
And so, sorry, I swear to the good Lord, this is what happens when you get old. The train goes off the track. It just went off the track. So no, if you came into the business and you were respectful, keep your ears open and your mouth shut. You have to do that in the beginning. And some girls that came in jaw-jacking instead of being reverent to the industry, not good. So, I mean, we all dress together, but I think that, there were women, I love and there are too many women that I love and cherish to say that I was only friends with the guys. There are people you click with and there are people you don't. So, yeah.
And depending on who you're on the road with, things like that.
Exactly.
We've got a question over here on the left, right behind us here.
Here we go. What's your name, my friend?
Oh, sorry. I'm Matt. I just want to say, Terry, first of all, you are a legend. My question kind of follows up from what you were just saying there. So you'd hear a lot of female superstars now talking about women's locker room atmosphere, certain eras, early 2000s, things like that. My question is, what was it like in the late 90s with all those sort of distinguished characters of Sable, Sonny, China, yourself, Deborah, and then what was your sort of favorite time in the female locker room? What was the best sort of era for you?
That's a good question too. So I had a great time being Marlena. I mean, she was created in my noggin, and everything that she was and her name came from me. So I felt very comfortable with her. Yes, I love cigars, so I made that a part of her gimmick. But I think it was during, when China first came in, that was just a great time. I mean, the whole Attitude Era was just such a ball of fun. It will never happen again, ever, which is a shame, unless it's underground or, that kind of thing. But not on mainstream TV. It will never happen again. But yeah, I think that was just my most fun time. And what did you say your name was again? Matt. Thank you for the question, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt. Great question. We have another question over here.
Okay, what's your name, my friend?
My name's Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Absolutely honoured to meet you. Absolute legend. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So, what memories do you have in like WCW with the York Foundation, and who do you feel helped you along that era? Who was like the most helpful to you?
So yeah, I was as green as this gentleman's hoodie right here when I started, because as we all know, or as some of us know, I was a makeup artist for CNN back in the day, and on the weekends I did makeup for Jim Crockett's wrestling NWA back in the day. So Terry Taylor was actually the first person that smartened me up to the business. He taught me an awful lot, and he was the second person I managed in wrestling. You know, Michael Wall Street, Rotunda was the first person. But yeah, Terry Taylor was the most influential in the beginning of the business, and Terry Funk was the second that smartened me up. So.
There's just something about the name Terry, I think. Terry Taylor, Terri
I know,
Runnels.
I love the
You're just in
Terry.
great company.
Magnum TA,
There
Terry.
you go, Terry.
All right,
If this guy's name is Terry, I'm going to be freaked out.
I am too. All Terrys come to the front. All
Here we go.
Terrys.
No tension. Ooh, what's your name, sir?
Andrew.
Could have said Terry, mate. You had an opportunity.
Andrew, you missed that shot, dude.
Open goal, dude. Anyway, here's your chance to redeem yourself. This is Terri Runnels. Go ahead.
Thanks for taking the question, and much appreciated for your time. But that's a lot of superstars today. What was your sort of pre-match ritual before you went to the ring? Like, I mean, everybody has a different mindset, but
So if it was on a night where, you know, I was always on Raw, which was always live. So if it were on a night where I was told that I was wrestling that night, my pre-match ritual was to go and vomit in the toilet somewhere, because I hated wrestling other women. And that sounds terrible, you've never heard me say this? No, I've said it in a million interviews. I hated wrestling. I used to say to Vince, please, 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 please don't make me wrestle. And he was like, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. So literally, whatever, you know, people make fun of me wrestling, I don't blame you. Because what I did that night on live TV in front of millions of people, I had just been taught hours before, and I'm wearing a thong and trying to do what I was. People train for years to get in the ring, and I would be trained for an hour or two and then have to go and pull that shit off. So, yeah, I begged him. And so, again, to answer your question, if I was managing, didn't have a ritual, happy to do it, loved every moment of it. Loved taking bumps from the guys. If I had to wrestle a woman, vomit. It sounds horrible. Is there another word for that over here? Like, do we have different words for vomit? It's just a sound. Oh,
Toss
okay, just a
cookies.
sound.
Yeah.
I probably sounded like that.
Now that's a Comic-Con exclusive right there, Aaron, for sure. I'm the same way. I never wanted to go after a belt or be an athletic wrestler, and damn, it hurts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, too. It's interesting, like Dustin, by the way, Dustin/Goldust, and I just had our very first grandchild.
I was going to ask you, but congratulations, round of applause. Your first grandbaby that you can see on social media. She's so lovely to share her life story with us on social media, on Twitter.
Yes, so Dustin and I just became grandparents for the first time. Our grandson's name is Rowan, which is very English, I think, right? Yes? Shazam.
Irish.
Anywho, where was I going with that?
You were saying that Dustin, we talked about wrestling. You don't like to wrestle?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Train back on the track. So Dustin, wrestles constantly. And it's kind of like when you go to the gym for the first time and you haven't been there in a long time, what happens a day after, 2 days after your first hard workout? Horrid, right? I think because I didn't constantly work, like I would never go on the road to do house shows because of Dakota. I would only do TVs and pay-per-views. But I think because I was not acclimated to that,
Right.
I get injections in my back constantly, and I'm injured, but I think I was more injured because I was just not conditioned like they were. Now Kevin Nash is sitting over there with like 18 plates in his body.
Yes.
Love you, Kev. And he's going like, really, your back hurt, really? But yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I think it does give you an appreciation for how hard they work and how difficult it is on your body. Chris Brooker, do we have a question over here on the right?
We do indeed.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name, my friend?
Lee.
Hello, Lee.
Hello, pleasure to see you here.
Thank
Over the
you.
moon that you're here.
You as well.
During your managerial career, you had the Radicals, Perry Saturn, and Dustin Goldust. Outside of them, who in your era or now or in the middle or wherever, who would you have seen that you would have liked to have worked with going
Oh,
forward?
Lord. Back in the day, Shawn Michaels, and today, Seth Rollins.
Wow.
And they remind me a lot of each other in different ways. Shawn Michaels was like, he was so smooth. He was like a ballerina in the ring. I can't see him anymore. You're stepping. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, those two, back in the day and today. Yeah.
Great question.
Thank you.
Well, a question for me, we're mentioning Seth Rollins. Any Seth Rollins fans in the house?
Whoop, whoop.
Burn it down. And by the way, what a fashionista he is.
Wait, hold on. Y'all gotta wake the hell up.
Right?
Say Seth Rollins again.
Seth freaking Rollins! There we go. Yes.
There we go.
Are you watching any current day wrestling, AEW,
Don't ask
WWE?
me that
Are you
because
not?
it's embarrassing to answer.
Well, hey.
No,
You know
unless
Seth Rollins.
Dakota-
That's good.
Dakota's like, Mom, you gotta see this thing Dad did. Unless she tells me, no. And for two reasons. The first reason is if I can't do it anymore, it breaks my heart to watch it because I want to be there.
FOMO.
Right?
Fear of missing out.
Exactly. And second of all, Mama ain't got that kind of time. It's just too much to invest.
a lot.
mean, like how do you listen to podcasts that go 3 hours and then there's 4 hours of wrestling? Like too much.
It's a lot.
Too much.
Between
Anyway.
that and RuPaul's Drag Race, I have no time. But I will ask you, we were speaking about social media and Twitter.
I thought it was finished.
Fine. And we're going to have a couple more questions, and we've got to let her get back to the autograph area. But speaking of Twitter and you sharing your lovely life with us on social media, how has social media been for you? Because sometimes it can be helpful, sometimes it can be tedious, harmful. What are your sort of rules for social media?
Val, you're killing me. This is yet another question
Damn it, Val.
that I'm embarrassed to answer. So, the reason I hate social media, hashtag hate social media, is because I like to respond to everybody. I feel like if I only answer 2 people and then there's another 20 and I don't acknowledge them, then they're like, I'm chopped liver. So I try to, but here's what happens. You can acknowledge this. Every single time you post something, everyone goes, oh, she's on right now. Ask her a question. And so everything just gets exaggerated. And then I feel bad. And then I feel bad that I don't answer everybody. So then I end up just staying off the damn platforms. So I'm going to, that's my late New Year's goal. What are we in now?
2023. Can you believe that?
April. We're in April. My New Year's resolution for May is to be better at social media. But if I don't answer you, it's not because I don't love you, okay?
See? Give that a round of applause. All the love.
That's honesty,
is
people.
there.
That's honesty.
It is. And it can be very overwhelming, social media.
Yes.
I think we have time for just another question. Do we have one right over
One
here?
gentleman here.
Hi there.
What's your name? Oh, sorry, was it not you?
Oh.
Was it you? I'm so sorry. First one in, I've kicked the bucket. Here we go. What's your name, my friend?
Wait. Let's turn this around. Give the mic to him for a second. If you don't mind. Sir, I'd just like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So I see you're here for the love of wrestling, and I'm happy to see you. But what did you have for breakfast this morning, sir?
Full English.
That means beans as well?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Why do y'all eat baked beans in the morning? I don't get that. Anyway, thank you, sir, for your question.
Thank you.
And I'm ready for you, sir.
If you can answer the beans question. What's your name, my friend? Oh, actually, can you lean over here, please?
Feedback.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Matty.
What's your name?
Matty.
Spell it.
M-A-T-T-Y.
Matt. Okay, sorry.
What was it like working with Dean Malenko?
Dean Malenko, he's a dry son of a bitch. A great worker, and his humor, wouldn't you say, like, he has one of the dry sense of humors over there.
I did not meet him backstage. I was too terrified. He's
Oh.
very stoic, and I thought, oh my God, it's Dean Malenko. That's like wrestling legend, you know?
Yeah, when
Do it.
he makes a joke, he does not smile. It reminds me much of you all. Hey, there's my best friend since we were newborns, right there in the red and black, supporting Man U, even though she's from the States, Vicki
Yay!
Johnson.
Give it up for Vicki,
Woo-hoo!
everybody. Vicki.
If you want to know who I'm sharing a bed with tonight, right there.
Woo woo.
Thank God we're friends.
Ooh la la.
Thank God we're friends.
That's another Comic-Con exclusive. Well, final question for me, Terri. We'll let you get back to her autograph area, which, by the way, is just over here, right by the main stage. So make sure you grab an autograph and a photo with this lovely lady. But we mentioned Kevin Nash. Is there anyone else here at For the Love of Wrestling that you're either happy to see again or that you were excited to meet for the first time?
Well, I don't know everyone that's here. Kevin Nash often says this to me, and I don't believe him, but he says, you're the first person I ever met in the business. And I'm like, how could that be, Kev? But he swears. I don't get that. Explain that to me again one day. Like, that's 30 some odd years ago. So we go way the heck back. What was the question again?
Just if you were excited to see anyone else other than Mr. Nash or anyone else that you hadn't seen in a while. It's like a reunion, these shows,
it really
right?
is. I really need to look around at the posters to see who all's here. Bill Goldberg, I love him.
The Dudleys are around here. Booker
Oh,
T is
yes, I
here.
saw Bubba last
Yep.
night in the lift, which...
Very good. Elevator, lift.
I have one last question for everyone, really quickly. How is it that we over in Yonder Way came by way of you guys, for the most part, and you guys called an elevator a lift, or you call a boot and bonnet, not a trunk, and and like spitting instead of sprinkling, and a trolley instead of a cart. Like, how did we change? So, like, who came from England or the UK and said, you know what? We're not going to call French fries French fries. We're going to call them chips. And biscuits are going to be cookies, and they won't be savory. Yeah. Who changed that shit?
I don't know who it was, but I'm still adjusting. I'm still having to translate.
Whatever, I love the UK with all my heart, and I'm so happy to be here and wallow in all the love that you guys give. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terri Runnels. She's here to meet and greet all of you
Thank
at
you,
her
guys.
table to the right. Give it up one more time for this legendary WCW, WWF, and WWE diva, Terri Runnels.
All social media is at the Terri Runnels.
And everything on social media, by the way, you know it's her favorite thing, social media, is at the Terri Runnels. Make sure that you give her a follow on Twitter.